Assalamualaikum, I'm Muhammad Nazmi bin Nazir Ali and my teammate Muhammad Fidaus bin Baset. We are from BMMW Section 1. Today we are going to conduct an interview session with engineer in investigating the practice of code of ethics in engineering profession. So let's welcome our guest, that is Mr. Faik from Research and Development Department at Megavision Focus. Mr. Faik, thank you very much for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you here with us. Without further ado,
Welcome.
Let's start. Basically, a professional code of conduct is an official document that clearly defines how a company employee should behave in a workplace on day-to-day basis. A code of ethics and professional conduct outlines the ethical principles that govern decision and behavior at a company or organization. They give general outlines of how employees should behave, as well as specific guidance for handling issues like harassment, safety, conflicts of interest. For the question asked, it will be based on BEM code, Board of Engineering Malaysia, Code of Professional Conduct, circular number 001, which cover about professional engineer with practicing certificates, professional engineer, graduate engineer, engineering technologies, and inspectors of work. But first, would you briefly introduce yourself and your job background, Mr. Faik?
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Faik Fida Ibn Azami. I'm currently work at Megavision as a senior design engineer from Research and Development Department. Okay.
For the next question is, could a registered professional engineer with practicing certificates reveal any kind or any sort of facts, data, or information from client or employer publicly?
Okay. A registered professional engineer with practicing certificate shall not reveal facts, data, or information without the prior consent of the client or employer, past and present, except as authorized or required by law or when the withholding of such information is contrary to the safety, health, and interests of the public.
Okay, next about professional engineer. How suppose a registered professional engineer making professional reports, statement and testimonies?
Okay, a registered professional engineer shall be objective and truthful in making professional reports, statements, and testimonies. He shall include all relevant and pertinent information in such reports, statements, or testimonies, which should be which should bear the date indicating when the information was current.
Okay, let's keep going. As a registered graduate engineer, how should you act when you find out that material used are not in compliance with the specifications, drawing, or condition of contracts?
A registered graduate engineer shall bring to the attention of the engineer or employer at the earliest possible opportunity of any instance where the work or material used are not in compliance with the specification, drawings, or condition of contract.
Next about engineering technologies. As a registered engineering technologist, what should be done before signing or endorsing any statement or claim?
A registered engineering technologist shall check with due diligence the accuracy of facts and data before he signs or endorses any statement or claim. He shall not sign on such document unless, where necessary, he has met qualification on errors and inaccuracies.
Okay, last but not least, the final question is, can a registered inspector of work issue instruction or give verification or approval to contractor?
A registered inspector of work shall not issue instruction to the contractor or give verification or approval to work carried out by the contractor unless he has been authorized by engineer or employer to do so.
Okay, that's all for today's session. Thank you to Mr. Faik for the cooperation and we really appreciate it. There are many knowledge that we get from this interview session and there are more blessed about this that we got it from Mr. Faik. Thank you.
Okay, welcome.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ni Asfa Ashraf and my friend here, Muhammad Fikri bin Muhammad Sabri. We are going to interview an engineer from the construction. So I hope he can give some detail or his experience about working in his company and work of ethic. So let him introduce himself first. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Ahmad Nasrullah bin Ahmad Zafrullah. I work as a structural engineer in Z Engineering Sdn Bhd in Bandar Sangwe, Selangor. Currently, I'm a structural engineer in an oil and gas consultant company.
Okay, thank you, Encik Nasrullah. So we will continue our interview with question number 1. Okay, Fikri Sabri will continue with the question. Please continue. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. The first question is, what are your plans in forming in a good team to ensure that the job runs smoothly and successfully?
The first thing that I have to do is make sure that the communication between all parties is very clear and good, because communication is the most important key when you doing a project, because miscommunication will cost you greatly. And then we have to make sure that I have to allocate work systematically to every co-workers, so that there will be no redundant and every work will be completed in time.
Okay.
Yeah.
The next question is, hazard is the condition that potential of causing any injury or disease at work. Give some categories of hazard from engineering perspective.
Okay. Basically, when working in a high risk environment, safety is very important. Okay, one of the hazard that usually found in workplace is noise hazard, hot work hazard, as well as during lifting operation. Okay, so to mitigate that hazard, you have to wear proper PPE, and during lifting operation, make sure that you are not working under the suspended load. You have to alert with line of fire, and for doing hot work such as welding or gouging, you have to wear correct PPE like safety goggle, glove, and also wear mask.
Okay. The third question, as an engineer, safety and health are important in the workplace. In your opinion, how do you manage safety and health in the workplace?
Okay, yes, true. Safety is the very important during in the workplace. Okay, so first, usually as an engineer, I will promote safety first campaign. No work that is more important than safety. I also to remind them that safety is not just safety engineer or safety HSE responsibility. It is everyone's responsibility. And then before start work, everyone need to have a toolbox. The work leader has to remind all the workers or their workers the activities today and the potential hazard of their exercise today.
Okay. The next question, how do you apply the code of ethics throughout your work as an engineer?
Okay. Basically, as an engineer, especially in Malaysia, our 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 industry is not that big. So to to be more ethical, you have to be more integrity in yourself. You should give zero tolerance to any unethical act, and make sure that you credibility, responsible and accountable in making your decision.
Okay, this is a last question. Based on your experience, what do you emphasize to discipline yourself towards more ethical?
Okay. Okay. Usually, based on my experience, how I discipline myself, basically, you have to be accountable towards your decision. You have to follow all the procedures and the rules before you making the decision, whether the decision is critical or not. And lastly, always be honest in your work, because when the honesty is very important in delivering the project output and working with people surrounding.
Okay, that's all for the question. Nick.
Okay, thank you so much, Encik Nasrullah, for willing to take our interview and answer all our question. So that's all from us. I hope this interview can give some what we call wisdom and knowledge to the fresh graduate, to the freshie that would like to apply for a job, to follow through the word of ethic. So that's all from us. Thank you again, Encik Nasrul.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Encik
And
Nasrullah.
Assalamualaikum.
Okay, waalaikumsalam.
Okay.
Okay.